A judgment is going to come against America in which lives will be lost. In a trickling kind of way, each person wrestling with their sudden things. I am the one who has prophesied to you of God that that cancer will come out of nowhere. And he said, till the day people stop breathing, they will never link it back to casual things that they have supported, wicked things that they have said. Imagine you get a cancer diagnosis, you're pretty young. You're a Gen Z or just a little older. It doesn't make sense. The doctor is telling you this is very unorthodox. There's no history of this in your family. This is a terrible diagnosis for me to have to tell you. But basically everything is already eaten up already. He said that people will leave this life bitterly lamenting how short their time was, never knowing that the thing that actually ate them up was the acid in their mouth to begin with that simply manifested in the last 6 months as a surprise, shocking cancer that seemed to be in all your bones, but it was your own vitriol. It was all the time you looked at things on the Discord server and you looked in all the little young places and saw school children gather together, kicking one child until the child actually suffered, went into a coma or died. And then you were like, well, he had it coming. All the little things that you've written, they were sinking into your bone like mercury. And then eventually when the Lord looked, let me tell you what God does, because it's not the first time I've said it. I've explained even at the beginning that at the onset of a sore, the high priest's job was to monitor that sore. If another sore popped up in another one, that was you outside the camp. Do you understand that? Because in today's world, we would argue, you can't cut me off for 3 sores. You don't know my story. You're judging me. There's no love in you. There's no compassion. But the high priest, operating from Jesus Christ's perspective, knew that where there's 1 sore and a second and a third, the high priest knew God is done with you. In a month, your whole body will be covered. We're putting you out now because we don't want anybody else getting a transfer of what you have. They would cut to the quick. They would get to the end. They don't have to wait to watch the whole reel to say, let's not jump to conclusions. We don't know his story. We could be putting words in his mouth. They would say, no, where there's 1 sore and 2 sores and a third, there's going to be a 15th. There's going to be a 2000th sore. There's going to be nothing left on this person but 2 eyes and a body full of sores. The law says cut him off. That's what Yah will do to many people. Yah will investigate, and he has been investigating all these years. But what he sent me to tell you is that he can't find good space in a lot of people. And when God checks you and checks you and checks you, and all he can see in your foreseeable future, doesn't matter if you're 13 years old. Hear me very well. All he can see in your foreseeable future is that every time you open your mouth, another sore is popping up. It's easy to just let the thing end at age 17. There's no need for you to get to age 29 where you will commit your first murder or something like that and be a big sore in society, because God knows the heart. He knows everybody's end. I've been prophesying here. I've been talking even about the young people in the prophecy, the next generation inherits nothing. Things like that. Yah says we don't need to wait until your son grows up and becomes the college rapist that we all know he will be. He's only rebellious now, and you just think, oh no, he's a bit hard-headed and everything, but he's a good boy. He's not a good boy. He's waiting to become some young girl's bitter memory that she can't get over for the rest of her life. She might have a long life in front of her. She might be the mom of 3 kids, but she will have to fight that thing that she will fight that thorn that your son is going to become in her side. This is quite a while ago I said it. That today's good boy is tomorrow's mass rapist, tomorrow's serial killer. Same for women. Tomorrow's teacher at age 24 sleeping with the kids. But Yah is not going to tolerate for you to get there and become that mass defiler of about 15 boys because you want to be the thought teacher, the hot mama teacher. It will all end at age 14 and nobody will know. People will just say, I told you that not every young death is a tragedy. You didn't want to listen. I spoke of the acceleration of young deaths in the earth because Yah said you don't know what is in your children, that your children are like silicone covers. They form into whatever. If you are like this, they form like this as a silicone cover. He said that these children can mold over whatever expectation their parents and the other adults in their lives expect of them. But he said inside the thing is a black tar pit, and he's not going to let them grow up. I said it before, and I cannot hold it back, that not every young death or not every early death is a tragedy. It's only a tragedy because our eyes don't see beyond the veil into where that life was heading. For speech, for the words of the mouth, Yah is saying, tell this nation that I will kill them, that I will cut them off for the words of their lips. By the words they speak, they will be taken, suddenly snatched up, suddenly grabbed up. By their lips and their own utterances, they will be snared. When the Lord is saying that your very words, your utterances will snare you, he's basically saying that the words of many people will create a trap for them that they will not be able to talk themselves out of later when they're in their one-on-one assessment with him. And then he says, because that the people of this time are so wicked towards the chosen ones who bear the weight of his anger against the nation. So God is basically saying here, he's not in a mode generally of, oh, I will bless you and I will prosper you and I will make your name great and your father's house. And he says, no, that the prophets who are coming up now, the majority of them, he's choosing them to do what? To bear the weight